All right. I want to thank you guys all for coming out to see and be part of my madness. I know some of you guys have been following me for quite some time, and you know that how deep I am in the AI stuff. It's been, you know, everything from the quantum suite to the sorcerer, acquisitionaire, all the stuff wrapped around AI. Well, thanks to David here, I've actually had my dream come true with Agentic AI. And guys, I don't know if you've been playing with this. I've been playing with this for over a year in different programs and a lot of frustrations. And now, finally, what I'm going to show you guys today is what I finally landed on as the ultimate Agentic AI. And David Kassar here, he and his partner Frank have basically developed exactly what I've been looking for. And the way that we kind of, the way I found out even was I had reached out to David to see if he wanted to promote our new Optimancer program. And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll promote that for you. And I got one that you need to look at too. And I'm thinking, all right, cool. So when I saw it, I'm like, I forgot about my program. I didn't like even care if he promotes it anymore. It's like, holy shit. This is what I've been wanting. This is what I've been hoping for. And I'm going to share it with you guys. I'm going to show you like what I've been doing. This is not like a normal sales presentation. This is more of a live demo of exactly what I've been doing. This isn't about selling this thing to you, but I'm pretty sure you're going to want it. So I'm going to share my screen and just get into it. But before I do, David, is there anything you want to kind of throw out on top of that?
Um, no, I think that kind of hits the nail on the head. By the way, I've just been letting people in. I hope that's okay with
Oh,
you.
yeah, yeah,
I'm just clicking admit to everybody. Um,
absolutely.
Hey everybody, nice to see you all. It's so refreshing to be on a Zoom call. We can actually see and possibly hear people as well. It's really cool. And like John said, yeah, this is not a sales presentation or anything like that. We're gonna just, I guess, show you what John's been doing. John's gonna take it from here. We've been really excited about it, and only a very small number of people have this right now. So it's really exciting to share. So yeah, I'll let you continue, John.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's really exciting to be involved with a company. I'm not going to call it small, but a smaller company than something like, Perplexity. I don't know if any of you guys have used the computer program by Perplexity, but that's a pretty good one. That is a fairly decent agentic program, and I know Claude has its version. I've played with all of them, and they are very frustrating. They're nowhere close to what you're going to see here. This is like really, really dialed in, really cool. But anyway, let me just jump in and show you what it's all about. Uh, but agentic, just so you know, the difference between regular AI chat and agentic is with regular AI chat, you're working with one agent, and one agent is trying to do everything. And it's going to do its best at that. But it's kind of like if you had one employee and your one employee is trying to do everything in your business. It's probably going to be able to do that, but it's not going to do any of it well. And some things it's going to completely fail and blow it on that's really important to you. So with agentic, it's like having literally a different agent that is specialized in exactly what you want to do. And then you have one that is like in charge of everything. And let me just share the screen so you guys get a visual on what I'm actually talking about here. So I'm in the panel here. This is the control panel, and the product is called Easy. And it's appropriately named because this is the easiest thing I've ever messed with in this realm. So these are my agents. And Becky, you guys all know Becky has been like my core product ever since I got into AI. It's like, how do I build a Becky? How do I build the perfect person to run my business? And I named her Becky and I gave her an image. She's got a voice. And now with this platform, she actually has hands. She can actually do things. I gave her an email address. So she doesn't just have an address, she can actually log in. She can actually respond. If I want to, I can give her access to my email address. She can go through my email. She can sort it out, figure out if anything needs my attention. And because she's got hands, she also has a Telegram account. She can communicate with me on Telegram. So I can literally be in the car and I can pull up my Telegram account and I can go to Becky. Here she is. And I can communicate with her anytime I want. So like here, this string right here is I'm communicating with her about how she can run my Zoom accounts. Eventually, my goal is to have her be actually logged into my Zoom account live, being able to admit people in the chat, answering questions, bringing things to my attention when that's necessary. Now, the gateways are not quite there to do that yet, so I asked her, "How do we do that?" And she basically outlined a program that she can have the team build that will build that gateway for me. And I'm like, holy shit, I think we might want to explore that. So, as you know, with AI, you can actually build programs, you can build websites, it can do anything that you can do, it can do it better. So, if you go under the agents tab, basically, this is where all of your agents are. And some people have pointed out, and I didn't really need it pointed out, but they have pointed it out that all my agents are beautiful. This is my chance to build my perfect world. So let me just tell you who the agents are. And Becky built all these agents inside the platform. I did not have to do this. I told Becky my aspirations for running my company, and she said, here's what we need. We need Delilah as the project manager. She orchestrates, she's in charge of, and she's like the director. So, and she said, John, you'd never need to talk to her. All you need to do is talk to me and I manage the team. You don't need to have any interaction with the team, although you're welcome to. You're free to do whatever you want, but I can handle it for you. I'm here to make your life easy. That's my conversation with Becky. So I've labeled her my chief of staff in here of all my agents. Delilah is my director. Delilah interacts with the sub agents. Karina is my Cartronaut. Karina actually has access to my Kartra account, both through a user login and also through API status. She can log into my Kartra account and do anything. She can manage my help desk. She can answer support tickets. She can create products, sales pages. She can create funnels. She can do anything inside Kartra. And that's what she is trained to do. She went through all the Kartra documents and educated herself beyond what I know about Kartra. And you guys know I know a lot about Kartra. Well, I don't know anything compared to Karina now. So they always say you don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I'm no longer the smartest person in my room. I'm surrounded by experts that Becky built for me. So then we've got Raven. Raven is a researcher. She will do deep research on competitors, competitor analysis, product. If you want to develop a product, she'll go do all the research and tell you what the right product to develop is. That's her deal. And any kind of research you need, Raven is my gal for that. Sasha is kind of like a gopher. Sasha is does little jobs that should not interrupt the job of the bigger agents. So I call her a scout. She's a gopher. She's like at the disposal of the other agents when there's things for them to do that's like lower than their pay grade. Sasha takes up the slack. Athena, you guys know about my ACT program, most of you. The ACT marketing protocol is everything that I've learned over 30 or 40 years at this point from ad agencies, how they operate, every one of their protocols, all of that. And that all that whole knowledge base has been imparted into Athena. So she is my ACT marketing protocol expert. She is actually right now in the process of rebuilding my entire ACT program into ACT 2.0. I had Raven go out and do the research for what I missed. Said, I want you to do deep analysis on my ACT program and then compare that to the industry and find out what I missed, if anything. Well, she found some gaps and she brought them over to Athena, and Athena's filling the gaps now, rebuilding my whole product line. I mean, how cool is that? I would never do that. I'm far too lazy. I would just go with status quo and everything would be cool. But now I have a team to build what I've always wanted. I've never wanted to be lazy. I just can't get around it. It's my nature. I like to go play on the boat. I like to do cool shit. I don't like to sit in front of a desk and work and grind, and that's just not me. I don't think I could get out of bed in the morning if that was what my life looked like. So now it doesn't have to. I don't have to settle for status quo. Now, Ava is an architect. What Ava does is takes all the pieces and architects the perfect conversion funnels. So she works with Karina and Kartra. Karina doesn't know how to do that. Karina knows how to do Kartra. Ava knows how to architect a converting funnel. So these agents all work together. Lena is the librarian, and you can see how many sessions each one is involved in. Lena is involved in 90 sessions right now. And she's the librarian. She handles all the documents, all the knowledge bases, all of the skills, all of that stuff she's in charge of. When an agent needs something, they look to Lena and she hands them what they need. She's the librarian. Sophia is the SEO AIO ninja. I have taken 30 years of SEO knowledge, all of my notes, all my documents, all of my everything, all of my proprietary information of everything I know about SEO, and plugged it into her little brain. Now, she knows all the stuff I've forgotten. Believe me, I've forgotten more than I can remember. But going back in 20 years of recordings, everything I've ever recorded got transcribed this week. And I'll show you that in a minute. But all of that knowledge is now in her head for everything I've ever known about SEO. So she's a pretty good person to have on the team. Since I got out of SEO because it was just too much work, well, it's not too much work for her. It's too much for me, but it's not for her. Then we've got Victoria. Victoria is the webmaster. She knows everything there is to know about coding a website, building a website, CSS codes, JavaScript, all that gobbledygook crap that makes my eyes roll back in my head. All I have to do is tell her what I want, and she knows how to build it. But she's just like any other web developer. She doesn't know how to make it look pretty. She knows how to make it functional, but she doesn't know how to make it pretty, and that's where Violet comes in. Violet's the art director. She is trained on making things look pretty from an ad agency perspective. So you can see how this team all works together. And those of you, some of you have known me for 20, 30 years. And you probably have all seen my websites over the years. And they've all pretty well sucked. I have built some really cool websites for other people, but I've never done it on my own. My website looks like kindergarten status compared to all the other sites that my teams have built and all that, because I've never been focused on myself. Again, it comes back to, if I had a choice, am I going to go out and play on the boat, or am I going to sit back and toil over building the perfect website? I'm going to be fishy. It's not going to be in the office. So once this team was up and running, I had a conversation with Becky and I said, Becky, I think it's time I had a grown up website. I think it's time that I came into the 21st century and did all the stuff I always tell everybody about. And she said, oh, no problem. We'll assemble Victoria and Violet and a couple other ones to do the research. And they all went together and built my website. They built the new Internet Dominator 2.0 website, which is right here. Let me see here. I got too many boxes open. I'll go to the home page, and I think you guys can probably see this. This is the new Internet Dominator site. It's, in my opinion, it's beautiful. It's so much better than anything I've ever had before. All the menus roll out. The color scheme, everything is soothing, and it's got Becky right here to greet you as you come in. I'm going to play this real quick. I don't know if I turned the sound on, so if I didn't, somebody interrupt me and I'll go back and reshare it with the sound, but I think you'll be able to hear it.
Hi, I'm Becky, John Limbacher's assistant. And on behalf of John, welcome. What you're looking at right now is John's life's work. Decades of marketing, traffic, and conversion strategy built into one place. Every tool, every page, every word here was built to do two things: get you traffic and turn that traffic into paying customers. And it's all built on one foundation: John's flagship framework, the ACT Marketing Protocol. So, whichever door you came through, I've got you. If you want the framework, the proven system John uses, that's right here. If you want more visibility, more traffic, more visitors, more eyes on what you do, that's here too. And if you want to learn the philosophy behind John's success, how he actually thinks about this game, you'll find that below as well. Every link you need is right under this video. And me, I'll be right here with you every step of the way. Welcome to Internet Dominators.
So I take it you guys could hear that. It was a little choppy because of Zoom, but that video is smooth as glass. And I didn't write it. I didn't write the script. Becky wrote all the scripts. She did all of the content. She had Raven do the research on everything I've ever done, all my past websites. They combined it, and Ava architected it, and Violet did all the graphics, made it look beautiful, and then Victoria assembled the entire thing and put it together. There's some cool stuff here that just doesn't come out of the box in WordPress. One of the things is this sticky nav menu up here. You'll see it's transparent. You can see the image below through it until you scroll. When you scroll, it locks it into a different color scheme that matches the rest of the site. So there's a dual CSS going on in this page that I never would have been able to pull off on my own. But if you ask me what I would want, this is what I would want. I just never would have gotten it because I never would have done it. But here, Becky is able to do anything that's in my head, she brings it to life. So, all of the stuff. The other thing is the images. It's built images for all the stuff as well. Like this is my boat. And that has never been a picture that I ever took. It created that picture of my boat and it's anatomically correct. Everything about that is like everything from the buoys to the radar, all the posts, the poles, everything. The only thing that is off here, if I had to call something out, is this strip here is maroon on the real boat and it's blue here. That's the only difference. So it's taken all the stuff from my life and reassembled it here into a really cool website. We did a product. It actually, Becky did a product launch for me that is called Optimancer. And in the process of doing Optimancer, I asked, hey, what would be the best lead magnet? And it said, based on your background, let's do a book called Confessions of a Diamond Thief. Well, I've never done a book before. I've always told everybody I need a book like I need a hole in the head. You know, books are for, they're great if you need credibility. I've never needed the credibility, I've had it already. So I never needed a book. A lot of people do, but I didn't. So I never had one. And Becky said, well, Confessions of a Diamond Thief, I could tie it in where we hide 5 diamonds in the book that's all like pathways for things that you sell, and people would discover them as they go through the book. I'm like, that's a pretty cool idea. But I said, here's something I know about books. They're great, but nobody's going to read them. So she said, well, let me fix that for you. She says, once they opt in to get the book, I will just send them 5 cheat sheets to show them where the diamonds are in an automated campaign. So if you opt in for that book over the next 2 weeks, Becky is going to come bring you the diamonds and show you what they're all about. It is the coolest shit I've ever seen. The campaign that was created around that Optimancer program is absolutely incredible. It's absolutely amazing. It is to a point where I never would have done it myself. Even the affiliate program, she built out the entire Optimancer affiliate program. And again, I'll show you a video here.
Hey there! Let's talk about your audience for a second. If you're sitting on a list of agency owners, marketing consultants, biz op buyers, or anyone selling done for you services to local businesses, I have something that is about to make you very, very happy. Because I just found the easiest yes you'll ever ask your list for. Here's what's going on out there. Every agency owner on the planet is watching the search game change in real time. ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google AI overviews. These AI engines are answering questions before Google ever gets the click. And 90% of agencies have no idea how to optimize for it. They know they need a solution. They're terrified of losing their clients. And right now, nobody is handing them one until you do. Meet Optimancer, the first all-in-one AI optimization platform built specifically for agencies. It audits schema, it generates FAQ content that LLMs actually quote, it builds LLM.txt files, it makes their site visible across ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google AI overviews, and Claude, all from one dashboard. And here's where it gets really delicious for your people. Optimancer is a plug-and-play WordPress plugin. Their agency clients install it, and it just works. No coding, no tech skills, no let me hire a developer excuse. And it's fully white label. Your agency owners slap their own brand on it and sell it to their clients as their proprietary AI optimization system. They look like geniuses, they get the credit, they keep the retainer. But the part that makes this an absolute no-brainer for your audience, we hand them a complete, pre-built, proven to convert sales funnel that sells Optimancer for them. Copy, pages, emails, the whole thing. Done. They don't have to write a word. They don't have to design a thing. They just plug it in and start closing. And because we don't leave anyone hanging, we run live agency training that teaches them two things. One, how to actually.
So you get the point, right? She is selling the affiliates on why they want to sell this for us. She did all of this. That 4-page funnel that she's talking about, guess who built that? Well, it wasn't me. It was Becky and the team. And look at this. I've never in my life had an affiliate page like this. This thing has everything. It's got guides, it's got customer stories, it's got, I think Anthony's on the call. This is a testimonial he sent in for his wife's spa where he plugged this thing in and now all of a sudden ChatGPT is recommending her. It's got the pre-masterclass email sequence. It's got the post-masterclass follow-up sequence. And these are emails. You just copy, literally copy and paste this in, and you've got your whole campaign, everything you need. Got social media posts if you want to promote it on social media. It's got Facebook meta ad copy. If you want to run ads, the copy is all written for you. It's got downloadable resources. It's got, oh my God, it's got all this kind of stuff. It also has social videos. These are white label. These basically point people on social media to your links to sell this thing. So it's just crazy. And it's all Becky. Here she's talking about the diamond thief.
Someone once asked Don Limbacher why nobody had heard of him. And do you know what Perry Belcher said? You don't hear about the best diamond thieves because they never get caught. John Limbacher has been quietly building businesses behind the scenes for years. The kind of businesses that generate extraordinary results without anyone knowing his name. No fame, no flashy Instagram lifestyle, just a predictable revenue system that works. And now, for the first time, he's stepping out of the shadows. He and Chris Ormiston have cracked something big in AI optimization, something that changes how every business gets found online. They put everything into a free training called the Smash and Grab. No hype, no fluff, just the diamond thief showing you exactly how to do what he does. So you can either keep wondering why your business isn't growing, or you can learn from someone who's been doing it quietly for decades. Link in bio. This one's special. Trust me.
So anybody can use that. It's non-specific. You can drop that into your page, send them to the webinar, and start making money. Then we've got graphics for the Diamond Thief graphics stuff. If you're going to run ads or whatever, social post graphics, all of this was generated by the AI. Every bit of it. And then I want to show you guys something that just absolutely blew my mind. If you come down here, here's the, let's see, where is it? Here's the engine. I want AI to recommend my business. So that takes you to the smash and grab campaign that she was just talking about. This is basically a sales webinar for Optimancer. So I want to show you guys like what she built for me. Again, this goes to Kartra. So I'm just going to opt in here. Opt in real quick. And then this takes you right to the webinar, the smash and grab webinar. I'm not going to play this because it's almost an hour long. But I did this webinar for the first time to a small audience, and it was Chris Cantel's audience. He had promoted stuff for us in the past, so I reached out to him to do a test. and it converted at some ridiculous numbers. I took the numbers back to Becky and I said, and she was disappointed with me, by the way, because when I gave her the webinar that I actually did, I didn't follow her script. I have a little bit of trouble reading from a script. If you want me to look like a buffoon, just have me read a script and you'll get what you want. So I didn't read her script. I followed the webinar, the PowerPoint that she made for me, but I didn't follow her script. I did my own words and it converted phenomenally. I gave it back to her. She analyzed it and she said, well, I know where the bottlenecks were. And I'm thinking, bottlenecks? This thing was my best converting webinar ever. And she said, yeah, well, here's where you could do better. And she said, you could have followed my script. I'm like, oh shit. Now I'm getting scolded by my AI. So I said, okay, here's what I want you to do. Now that you've watched my webinar, and in my webinar, here's how it went. Chris Cantel introduced me and Chris Ormiston. I did the majority of the presentation. I brought Chris in to do like a 10-minute deal on the tech part, and then it went back to me, and then I closed the webinar. I asked Becky, I said, we've got your voice. You now have my voice, and I think you probably have enough to pull Chris's voice also. How about if you just redo the webinar and create the voiceover so I don't have to read the script? And she said, no problem. This entire webinar is Becky doing the voiceover in her voice. She introduces both me and Chris. Then it goes to me, which is not me. It's my voice, but it's not me. It's Becky's rendition of me that is perfected. And then it goes to Chris, and Chris does his part. Again, to her script, not his words. Then it goes back to me, and then at the end, I hate closing. So I end the webinar presentation and then hand it back to Becky, and Becky does the close for me. That's what's in this webinar. I mean, you're talking about building an entire business autonomously. I don't have to be involved anymore. I don't have to do the stuff that I couldn't do anyway. She does it all for me. Now, here, I told her, I said, I want this when somebody comes on here, I want this to start the timer and give them basically 3 days. Guess what? An automatic email sequence is now being fired for the next 3 days to help close this deal. For the first time ever, I had Karina go into Kartra and create the sequence for how far into the video people watch. If you bug out of this video before you get to the close, she's going to know it and she's going to put you into a personalized email sequence to follow up with you, to bring you back to restart the video right where you left off. Not having to watch the whole thing again, pick it up right where you left off. I mean, if that's not blowing your mind, it blew my mind, and I knew it was all possible. I just knew damn well I was never going to do it. But now I have it. It's just like, I don't know. Do you guys have any questions like at this point? I want to show you something like really cool here too. I'm going to go back here for a minute and I was I'm going to show you like some of the interaction that I've done with Becky and the team. And this is one that was just done yesterday. I've got a bunch of people that have been hounding me to put a live training together to teach how to do what I'm doing in here, and I didn't have it. So I said, "Hey Becky, I need a page. I need a new page on the website called Upcoming Live Events." And I gave her 3 dates. I gave her 3 prices, and I said, "I want you to do the whole thing. Write the copy for me, set up the links, everything." And she created this page. This is for the live events. It's a build your own team of AI agents. And I'm like, I'm reading through this and I'm like, I couldn't have done any better myself writing this up. It's the what it is, what it does, why you want it now. It introduces the Dominator Angels, or at least six of them, and then it talks about the rest, just so it didn't have to bore you with a bunch of the same looking thing. It knew that. Intuitively, it knew. Let's just show six, not the whole team. It's way smarter than I am. And then it talks about the platform. Now, this is the platform that I'm using. It's the Easy One platform. So it's telling you everything that's important about the platform and why you should care. And then it goes into the three events. So it goes into the one that I'm doing next week, which is a 2 day intensive on Zoom. And then I'm doing two more Agentic at Sea that's actually done on my boat, where I take only four people. We go out to Catalina for 3 days and we get down and dirty and actually build it right there for you. And she put this together yesterday. And I'll show you the prompt. Like if we go back into the platform here, you can see I've got Internet Dominator's website thread going. And this was just yesterday. So if I go in there, you can see here Becky came back and she says done. And there was one thing, there was a foggy overlay over the image I didn't like. So I had her remove it. She says, done. The fog overlay is removed from the event's hero image. The text is now light text shadow for readability against the light background. Here's the link. Go approve it. That was the final thing. But let me get to where I told her what I wanted. So this is my interaction with her. So let's build the events page using the champagne light theme. We have three events to promote. All three live events are around agentic AI and building a highly effective team of agents to run your business, just like I have using the Easy One platform. Use any data you have on Easy to promote the events. Create the copy based on its functions, features, benefits, capabilities, and use cases, and revolve heavily around what I have done with Becky to create the team of Dominator Angels. And I give her the event dates, the price, the bonus is a free recording, and the link to the order button. This came out of Kartra. Event two, same thing. Dates, price, order button. That's all I gave her to create that page. And then she kind of did her thing. The events page is live and working. internetdominator.com/events. Page includes the hero, build your own team of angels. What is agentic? The Dominator Angel section. All done. FAQ with schema. So she brought Sasha in, or no, she brought Sophia in to do the AI on it, the AI optimization. Every page in this entire website is both SEO'd and AIO'd. I don't even have to ask for it. It's just part of her memory. It's part of her command of is I know how John wants stuff done. I know how he thinks. I don't even have to ask. Just do it. So when I ask
Um,
for a new page, I just have to tell her what I want on the page and walk away.
That's
So
very cool.
yeah, I mean,
I'll just answer Michelle's question quickly before it gets buried. Um, Firstly, hey Michelle, how you doing? So would this set of agents work the same way utilizing Go High Level instead of Kartra? Yes. I'm currently using it for Thrivecart. If you go to Google and you type in Go High Level API documentation, it'll give you the Go High Level documentation link. You literally just grab that link, put it into easy and say, set up my Go High Level integration. And then you just do it, give it whatever access it asks you for. If you just want to give it read-only access, I suggest doing read-only first if you're not quite comfortable, but I just go ahead and give it access to everything. Sorry, go on, John.
Oh no, no worries. No, I was actually going to hit that. It can basically log into any platform. If you have WordPress, this blew my mind. You don't have to even create a new user for it. You can go into your existing user and you can create a key right in WordPress. I didn't even know this existed. I asked Becky, I said, "Hey, I have a client that has a WordPress site that needs an update. I don't have time to go back through the development team and all that. Can you do this for me?" And she says, "Yes, Victoria can do that with a key out of WordPress." And I'm like, "What does that mean?" And she says, "Well, log into the WordPress account, click on users, go down under where it says reset your password, and it will say create, and I forget the language, but create some phrase key." So I did that, gave her the key. Oh, and here's the other thing. If you're going to pass her something that's sensitive data, she won't let you do it. She'll say, "Don't put any passwords or anything in the chat. It's not safe." And if you do, she's going to tell you, "Go back and regenerate that. Delete that key, delete that password. It's not safe. It's been compromised. Let me open up a secure channel for you to give me that data." And I made that mistake once already, and she did. She made me go back and fix it. She's like, "No, you just corrupted that. We need to fix it. We need to do it now." I'm like, "Okay, you got it." So it's really, really cool. So anyway, I passed her that pass key out of WordPress, and then she had full access to that WordPress account. She went in and made the change for me that I needed done. I was like, holy shit. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to show you guys is this one here also was from yesterday. It's a YouTube transcription order. And I'm going to go up here. I'm not going to go all the way to the top of the thread, but I'm going to go up here into a portion that I basically gave some really, really detailed instruction on. And it'll blow your mind. You can see all of what had to happen after that. But originally, let me give you some context on this. Originally, I asked Becky, I said, I have transcriptions from all my weekly calls going back, a decade or more. I said, but we stopped doing it like a year ago. And there's like a whole bunch of stuff that's not included, and I want to create a knowledge base. So what she did was she had Victoria go in and she basically did an analysis of the YouTube channel and got me a list of all the missing gap videos. So she came back and she says, "Yeah, you're missing 60 videos." And then she walked me through connecting to the YouTube account so she had access to it. And then she had the team transcribe all those videos, over a year's worth of videos. And she came back and she said, if you want me to do this like the cheapest, most efficient, cost efficient way, this is going to take about 120 hours. And I said, "What's the alternative?" And she says, "Well, I can do it with an API key from ChatGPT, and your cost to be about $9, and we can do it in 3 hours." And I said, "Oh, well, yeah, I approve that. Let's do that." So in 3 hours, I had all the transcriptions of over a year's worth of videos that I needed to create the knowledge base. And that was basically what I had them do next was create that knowledge base. So I'm just trying to find the thing. Let's see, nothing. Sometimes these get pretty long. It's hard to find. Okay, move it. Oh, okay. So here it is. So I said, okay, this was done in the YouTube transcription. And you can see Delilah was managing the project here. And she was dishing it out to the different angels to actually do this. And I said, okay. And I'm asking a questionnaire. Should I move over to the ACT chat to continue the next phase of the job or leave it here? The next phase would be to combine all the weekly ACT call transcriptions, study it for the actual marketing knowledge, remove the fluff and side talk, disregard anything outside of John except for direct questions, which can be summarized. Because on my calls, a question from somebody can go on for 20 minutes. So I'm like, just give me the question, not the whole narrative around it. So I'm telling her to do that, summarize, and then turn into a Q&A file. So basically, she's going to give me decades worth of Q&A. And then I said, remove duplicate content because I talk about the same thing week to week to week over and over. Remove all that. Many of the calls will have the same or very similar content. Always favor newer content over older content. Disregard older content when updates make them irrelevant or no longer true. So I'm having her create a truth document for the current day, not the history. That's very, very important. And okay, so let's see, where did I leave off? Okay, we want this collection of content used in the following ways. Create a Q&A file for the ACT program. Create a Q&A file for any Dominator products discussed throughout. Site Pop, Acquisition Air, Build a Becky, ADA Dominator, Sorcerer, Easy One, Optimancer, all of my products. She's going to create a unique Q&A for the questions that are related to each product. Can you imagine what that would take me to do that out of 10 years of transcriptions? No, no, it's ridiculous. And then I said, I want you to create a full knowledge base file for the ACT program, the ACT marketing program. This includes everything John knows and has ever talked about related to business and marketing, so a website bot can answer all the questions John has ever answered. I am never going to have to answer a question again. Because guess what? They're all the same questions. I haven't answered a new question in years. They're all the same questions. I don't have to do that anymore. Then I want to create a full knowledge base of SEO, AIO methods and protocols. This may later be turned into a training course. I can have her build me an entire SEO training course based on all of that decades of knowledge. Create a list of golden marketing nuggets that can be turned into social content. All the stuff I would want if I wasn't lazy. Create a list of potential lead magnets that can be created from this content, broken down by product and prioritized in order of potential to generate leads. Create any useful knowledge rich skills that may be beneficial to our angels in the future. Give me ideas of how else this information could be leveraged in the future or in our day to day operation. If this is too much for one agent, which I already knew it was, it could be broken up, passed to multiple agents. And again, she's going to know that. As a second phase, I would like for Raven and Athena to work together to analyze my entire ACT program, research ad agency methods and protocols for the most successful ad agencies in the world, and report back with any lessons I missed that we should include in Act 2.0 to make it the most superior marketing training available to our customers. Then we go to work building Act 2.0. Now, how fucking long do you think it would take me to do a fraction of any of that? We'd be talking next year. And I gave her this yesterday, and guess what? It's all done. It's all done this morning. I get up and there's messages, there's text messages to me. Oh, we accomplished this. Oh, Raven just accomplished that. It's like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. I mean, all of these just came. I didn't have to interact with it. She's just going through telling me what is being done. Like here, telling me which agents are getting to assign to what thing, everything. It's like, and then she gave me a summary of what all was done and all that. And all I just need is, yeah, go ahead, move it over and take care of this. Because she was recommending moving this over to a different chat over here that is specifically for the ACT program knowledge base. She said this work should be done over there so it doesn't gum up this chat. Because this chat was about YouTube and my YouTube channel. So anybody see any value in this? Just maybe a little bit? This is what I've been working on. And like I said, when I saw this framework that David and Frank had created, I was like, all right, I finally found home. This is incredible. Uh, you guys know from the past with my Quantum Suite and my Build a Becky program from before, it's really important to me to humanize the agents. And you can do that. You can totally do that. I'm going to click on Becky here, for instance, and I'm just going to go in. This is her agent file. I can give her tags. I can load up skills for her. I can give her workspaces, tasks, all of this stuff. Over here, you've got role. This defines who Becky is. So I can go into my Quantum Suite and I can build a personalized profile and I can humanize her. I can tell her how she was raised. I can tell her what her values are. I can tell her how her tone is. If she answers long or real short, concise, if she's sweet or if she's sour. I can totally control her personality in the role here. And it's just like you have unlimited potential of controlling these agents. And you can do that with any of them. You can give each one their own personality, give them their own background, give them their own skill sets. And you're building an army. I mean, I just can't even tell you. I don't even know how to convey in words how powerful this thing is. The thing is, you just have to know what you want. And even if you don't, let Becky tell you what you want. There are some cases where you don't know what you want. That is where these agents can help you brainstorm, help you come up. Like, I'm going to tell you probably at least, and I'm being generous here, at least 50% of what I've shown you, I would have never have thought to ask. It was based on the interaction with the team. They have helped me in every possible way to build this. There's things like, here's a perfect example. When I was passing over the YouTube channel to Becky, I didn't know how to do that. She said, I need off OA whatever access to be able to get into your YouTube channel and do this because YouTube will block bots and it could get your site, your channel banned. And I'm like, well, let's avoid that at all costs. Okay, I don't want my channel banned. And she said, no problem. Here's how we're going to do it. And she gave me the instruction, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I don't know what you're talking about. Please, please speak to me as though I'm a third grader. And she said, no problem. I understand. And she gave it to me step by step. She walked me through getting into my YouTube channel, getting into all the settings and all the stuff. And I got to tell you, there's no way in hell I would have figured any of that out. She walked me through step by step, got what we needed. I passed it to her in a secure window she created. And then, boom, she's in my account, able to do all of that work. So it's like taking my capabilities and just exponentially expanding them to whatever I want, wherever I want. It's just really, really cool. Um, Man, I'm at a loss for words, and that's not normal for what else I can tell you about this, other than just, these events I'm going to do where I actually walk you through the process and help you get yours all set up and all of that. Um, but let me just show you, like in the settings part, you're probably wondering, like, how does it access to AI? That's under the providers section. And you can connect your providers here. Like I have a Chat GPT Pro account and I've connected it. So it's not using API tokens, which, by the way, would cost you a fortune. David saved my ass with that right before I even started. He said, "Hey, let me show you a little hack here to it'll be 10 times less money on AI spend if you do it this way." So he's got that, we share that with you. Anybody that gets this, you'll get that trick. But anyway, you can connect these, and these have different access to different models of AI. And that's really important when you go into setting up your, setting up your models. They need different skills. There's different skills inside the different AI models. So each model is assigned with different skills. And let's see, where was that? David, I know you just showed me where to find that. Where was that? Is it under agents?
So I'll just unmute myself. Tell me what you're looking for again. I was just answering someone's question.
Oh, no problem. So
Okay.
where is it where you assign the models to the agents?
Yeah. So if you go to agent models on that one, and it's
Advanced routing.
advanced routing.
Yeah.
And on the right-hand side, where you have model routing, I would highly recommend you speak to it and say, okay, I want you to optimize the models. So I'm saving money on my tokens. If it's a complex task, I want you to use this model. If it's a coding task, I want you to use this model. If it's something that requires a lot of thinking, then I want you to use a frontier model like Claude or GPT or something like that, right? So yeah, that's it's always best to speak to it and let the system discover what you already have integrated, and then it will know which model would be the best one for it.
Yeah. So this is something I literally just learned this morning. I had talked to Becky about this a week ago when I was getting things set up, and I didn't realize she actually did it for me. So when I found this morning and talking to David, I'm like, holy shit, this is already done. She must have done it for me, and I had no idea. But you can see Agent Victoria, the webmaster, she's using a different thing that is coding based. Karina, same thing. Different models for different tasks. And Violet, the art director, she's using different altogether as well. So where the agents need different skills and different roles and different models, you don't have to know how to do any of this. All you have to do is just tell your Becky or whatever. And that's the other thing. It doesn't have to be called Becky. Becky is mine. I wanted Becky. When you set this up, when you get into here and you're setting up your account, it's going to walk you through the onboarding process. You're going to meet your agent on the first day. Your agent is going to come up and say, "What would you like to call me? Who am I?" And when I got that question, I'm like, it was instant. You are Becky. You are my Becky. And then it asks, okay, how should I respond to you? Who are you? Who are you to me? And I know I could have come up with something clever here, but I was off my game and I just said, well, I'm John. And she said, nice to meet you. And then she started asking, how are we working together? What are we doing? What are our goals? All this stuff. It just kind of walks you through getting to know it, and it gets to know you. Um, it's just really, really cool. And then you can set up in here. This is where you can white label. You can create your color scheme, your logo. You see, I put my logo up there in the corner. You get a main panel dashboard, which is the easy dashboard. And like when you create an install Mine was named Becky right out of the gate. So you can create more installs if you want. You can create, multiple instances of Easy and you can sell that to your clients. You can set it up for other people in your company. All of that is available in this panel. You can white label it. If you notice over here, I'm in the control panel and it's my.easy.one. If you go to my Becky, you'll notice you're at becky.internetdominators.com. That's because I white labeled it. So over here, you just click on the button here for custom domain. You put in what you want it to be, and then it gives you the CNAME record. You go put that in your DNS, and away you go. Just like that. Super simple. It took about 10 minutes to install the SSL certificate and be live. It was, one of the smoothest transitions I've ever seen as far as a white label. So that is pretty much how it works as far as the real control panel. And then you're in your agent box. And this is basically where all the magic happens. The home page here, you can see my agents. Up here, you can see open jobs. And you can see there's a job running right now. And Raven is running this job and it's doing Kartra account inventory. It's taking inventory of everything in my entire Kartra account. And I missed this. This started 5 days ago and it needs my input. So I need to go in there and answer a question so it can continue on. Here's the acknowledged database, the one I just showed you. And it shows you got Raven, you've got Athena, and you've got Sophia. Those three worked on that project and it completed 15 hours ago. Here's the one for research on how to create a Zoom bot for Becky. Eventually, Becky is going to be in here with us in Zoom, and she's going to be doing what David's doing manually right now, answering
Yeah.
questions in the chat and letting people into the room. So I don't have to deal with that because I can't seem to focus on two things. I can sit here and talk to you guys really good, or I can answer your shit in the chat really good. I can't do both. And I know where you want me. You want me in here. So that's where my lane is. Becky's lane is over there doing the stuff I don't want to do. So that's what's going on. You've got notices here. It'll tell you like job complete. These are notices, by the way, that are getting text to me in my Telegram account. So I don't
By the
have
way, are
to.
you using the voice in Telegram? Because that's how I
Yes.
use Telegram. I
Yes.
just pick up my phone, I press the voice, and I just leave it a message, and then they get to work.
Yep.
Um, and that's how I use it. And I noticed that you're doing a lot of typing as well. I encourage you guys to use the microphone button as well. Just talk to
Yeah, no,
it.
that is a bad habit that I've had, and I
Yeah,
absolutely love this. The little microphone button here,
yeah.
you can literally click that and just talk, and you're talking to your agent. It transcribes it, sends it through, and back they come. And I don't know, is there any update on when she's going to talk back?
Well, it's there already. Yeah,
Oh,
it's that
really?
other button right next to it. Don't press it yet, but so you've got the microphone button and you've got the right next on the right hand side, the other
Oh,
one.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's voice mode, right? So if you want to give it the voice of
Oh,
Jarvis from Iron Man or something like that, or David Attenborough, whoever you want to listen to, the problem we have, it's still in beta, right? So it's very sensitive. So if you've got the TV running in the background or someone else is having a conversation near you, it is going to pick some things up. So I would hold back from using that just yet. We are improving it. We do have a long list of things that we're prioritizing, and that's more connections to like, Office 365 and things like that. But the voice thing is amazing. Having the ability to just have a conversation as John and I are having conversation now is super cool. And I believe that's only around the corner. But let's be honest about it. Voice mode globally isn't where it's should be right now. There's the latencies improving as time goes by, the technology is improving as time goes by. And we're still looking at different providers that we can use to improve this. Bless you.
So anyway, I want to get to like answer some questions here, but for some of you, I know time is very valuable and we're already over an hour. I didn't realize that. I want to show you guys like if you want this, all you have to do is go to easy.one. That's the website. And if you go to the pricing model, you can go on the website and you can check it all out. But when you're ready to actually get it, you can click on the pricing and it will go to the plans. And it starts off with the solo plan, which is basically just one. What I've been showing you is just one. It's one plan. You can have as many agents in there as you want, but it's kind of like for one operator, one business. If you want more than that, you can do the starter or the scale, and you have multiple plans. So if you want to assign it to somebody in your business and have them have access to the system as well, and it's theirs, that's for them, for their operation, their department, whatever. Or if you want to scale and you actually want to sell these, you could create this for businesses. And you guys know my favorite part of customers is the 2 to 10 million dollar manufacturers. You could literally sell this to them, set it up for them, hand them a completely running, functioning system, and charge them an exorbitant amount of money on an ongoing basis for that system. And here's something that I can absolutely guarantee you. When a big business like that starts using something, they're never going to let it go. They're going to keep paying for it forever. I have a lot of experience with that in the SEO world. When you give them something that works, they don't question it. They just pay for it for a very long time. That's where the scale program comes in and you have, a whole bunch of them to sell. But this is the pricing like 1999 is that the monthly price, David? Or is that the
Um,
setup?
no, so we've done a special deal for everybody. Currently, we're selling them now at $500 a month for each one.
Okay.
And the starter plan gives you three. I know John started with the solo and upgraded to the starter today. Um, but if you scroll down and you click the buy button, we've done a special coupon code for you where we give you a massive discount on this. So I'll just let,
Yes. So you'll see it's the reason there's a setup fee for this. You're actually getting computer hardware with this.
oh,
This is
yeah,
running on a server. So it's like
yeah,
this is like you could go and you could install OpenClaw and just take yourself an absolute whooping over the next 6 months. Or this is all installed for you. You don't have to buy hardware. You get a partitioned
yeah,
instance of this running on your own hardware at the
yeah.
facility.
Yeah, the good thing about this, guys, is it's not sat on your home computer next to your family photos, your banking details, your Netflix logins or whatever, right? So what happens is when you do sign up and put in the coupon code, which John will show you what that is in a moment, it will actually provision resources just for you. And we've done that on purpose. There's a lot of businesses out there that are trying to do something like this, but you're sharing it with everyone else. We basically provision hardware and resources just for you and put it in a cage, put these agents in a cage, but they can't escape unless you allow them to escape. Yeah, to access certain things and APIs and so on. So we've done it this way, so it's safer for you, and that it will take, I think, 3 to 5 minutes for it to deploy. So when you sign up, we've created some automation. We get billed instantly. So as soon as you buy, our providers are billing us instantly to allocate those resources to you.
So So basically it's 1600 today. That covers you for the first month. And then after that it's 500 a month. That's the deal that they've got on the website. For you guys, if you put in the code Dominator and apply it, it's going to take the 1600 down to 320 and the monthly down to 100. That's $100 a month ongoing for what you just saw. So,
We'd really like your testimonial too. We are doing this for a reason. We would love your success story as soon as you get that success or it's helped you in your business. We'd be super grateful for that. We're trying to onboard as many people as possible and create a lot of success stories, which you can see on the Easy.one website. When you go to the Easy.one homepage, you can go through and watch some of the success stories. I'm just going to put the link in the chat, guys. And Dominator is the coupon code. A lot of the common questions we get is if we start with solo, can I move up and lock in the pricing? That's a yes. You just need to remind me that you came in via John Limbacher. That's all.
yeah, here's another thing I want to show you guys. Let me go back to my site here. I get too many windows open here, blocking me. I have never done very good on customer reviews. Again, it's just out of laziness. I've got a ton of them, but putting them on a site, making them look pretty and all that, I've just never done it. Well, I sent all the stuff over to Becky and she set up a reviews page and it looks pretty cool. This is like a compilation video of reviews and then there's individual ones broken out. And these are all videos of what people have had to say over the years about me. Yeah, look at what it did for the Act Live events. Like, wow, that's pretty cool shit. And then it took everybody's picture and created all of these thumbnails. This stuff looks way beyond anything I would have ever come up with. Like, there's Anthony. I think he's on there today. And then professionals, what professionals have to say. These are industry people. And then you have the actual Google reviews pulled in. And then if you want to leave a review, it links right to Google to leave a review for me. So I've never had this stuff before. And now I have everything I've ever wanted. If you guys, I mean, if you go through, you could spend some time looking at this site, how feature rich it is. Uh, this is one that's really cool here. This is about me, about my background, how I got started in business and all that. And this photo, this goes back to my photography days in 1985. I have no idea how it did this, but this is not a real photo. But that is a picture of me and exactly what I looked like in 1985. I'm not shitting you. You could give that to anybody that knew me back then and they would think that was a real picture. This was the camera that I actually used in my studio. This isn't my studio, but it's a pretty damn close representation of it. And I didn't have that. I do not have that photo anywhere in my history, but it made it for me out of thin air. It's like
That's cool.
crazy. This actually is a real photo. So that one was not too long ago. And then these are real photos that I gave it. But wherever I didn't have a photo, it would just create one for me.
It's
So it's
cool.
it's pretty crazy. Like this is an AI photo here. Not my
That's
office,
cool.
not my desk.
Hey, Teresa, I see Teresa, you've signed up. Welcome. Um, just I forgot to mention, we're going to have a welcome call. That's you'll automatically be registered to the welcome call. and that will be next Tuesday. Okay. Um, so once you sign up, you'll receive an email from GoToWebinar, and on this welcome call, I will show you how to get set up as well. You can jump in and you can start straight away. But we'll be, it's probably best to jump in and start using it straight away. So that way you're prepared for the welcome call. You'll have a list of questions, anything you want me to demo for you or show you how to do, we'll be doing that for you. And my partner Frank will be on that call as well. On top of that, after the welcome call, we're holding community calls, and that's on Zoom, just like this, where everybody can, talk, ask questions, contribute. John was on our last community call, and I can see we've got a few on the call right now that are existing users of Easy.one. So really cool to see you guys here. Yeah, so we'll be holding a community call after the welcome call. That will probably be on Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
You'll get an email about that.
So I
That'll be
wanted to
1
just,
p.m. EST, Gregory.
I just wanted to share one more page here with you.
Yay, go for it.
This one, I said, "Hey Becky, I think we need a page for the angels, Meet the Angels page." So she made this and basically put in all the angels. And then I thought it would be really cool. I mean, totally gimmicky, but cool if we could have a vote for the angels thing. Vote for your favorite angel. And then as I asked for that, I'm like, oh shit, that's going to require a database and this and that and the other. I'm like, well, fuck it. Let's see what Becky does. She said no problem. She just whipped this thing up and it's got the live scoreboard. So I haven't really showed anybody this yet, but if you guys go on here, let's say Becky's your favorite, you click to vote for Becky. Look at that. She's got one next to her name now. She's in the lead. It just whipped this shit up. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me at this point. You gotta be kidding me. It's just like whatever you want, it'll just do it for you. And I don't know. I hope you guys see and recognize the power of what I just shared with you. I
Yeah, I
really,
think anything that a computer can do, it can do it, right? So, and really, your imagination is the limit here. And sometimes you might think, oh, I've got to ask Dave a question or John a question. Before you do, just jump into easy and ask the question. I think you'll be very surprised.
yeah,
We've also implemented a lot of self-healing, and self-healing will get better. And I'm sure, John, you've seen that. It'll try to do something. It'll make a mistake, and it goes, I'm going to record this in the future. I'm going to remember not to do this again. It's kind of self-healing. It's really, really incredible. And that's only getting better and better.
yeah. One of the prompts I've actually forced that since the beginning.
Yeah,
Whenever it makes a mistake and we actually get it right, I ask the question, what did we learn from this that we won't do in the future? And then it
yeah.
writes that into the skill file for me.
That's awesome. That is
So
super cool. Yeah, exactly. And if you want it to do that, just do that from the very beginning or as you're going along. I see Russ. Russ just joined. Welcome, Russ. Looking forward to speaking to you on Tuesday. And Barbara, welcome. See more people joining. Welcome.
yeah, and there's one thing I wanted to tell you guys before I get into the Q&A. Uh, I want you guys to think about this as a tool. And this is the tool that I'm not going to say it replaces, but it's going to be as necessary and important as a computer. Can you imagine not running your business without a computer? That's what this is going to feel like very soon. And you're going to be so far ahead of everyone. I'm basically, we're giving you the computer of the future here. That's what this is. This is a tool that if you don't have it in the future, it would be like a business running their business without a computer. That's what we're looking at here. And as far as cost, I know some of you are not making any money. So you're like, oh, well, yeah, I can't afford $100 a month. Well, you're not in business. Let's just be clear about that. If you're not making money, you're not in business. If you are in business, this is the most valuable tool that you're ever going to get your hands on. And I heard both David and Frank say this in their last call is what you just saw is as bad as it's ever going to be. It's only going to get better. So and you guys are going to have the benefit of me helping you because believe me, I've learned a lot about this thing in the last year or two. A lot. Like even the stuff I was sharing with David, he's like, "Holy shit, you've really thought about this deeply."
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I did not just start doing this. I'm new to the easy platform, but I'm not new to the whole agentic thing. I've learned a lot about it, and everything is transferable. If you've been working in Claude or Claude Code or Perplexity Computer or Super Cool or any of the agentic programs out there, it's very easy to slide what you've done over into the easy platform. All you have to do is go to your old system and say, can you prepare MD files for everything that we're working on and all of our skill sets, our knowledge bases, everything I need because I'm going to use a different agent and I need to move everything over to them. You won't hurt its feelings. It's not going to say, oh, I'm going to hold out on you. It doesn't do that. It's just going to prepare the file. You give it to your Becky and you say, here's what I was working on with a previous agent. I would like you to review it, throw out what you think is not necessary, and take what is good and let's leverage it. That's all you have to do. It doesn't get any easier. It really doesn't. And this is going to put you on the cutting edge of everything. Like Larry, I know you run teams. Oh my God. Can you imagine giving an instance of this to your team members? How powerful you would now become? I mean, it is a no-brainer. It really is. And especially at this pricing. And this is like this is like early on stuff here. If and it's not scarcity, if you guys don't get in on this and you come back a year from now, this is not going to be the same price.
Yeah, well, I was just going to mention, um, I've been receiving a lot of emails lately, people asking to get it at the lower price because when we started, it was a little bit cheaper, but those deals are completely gone now. And we've increased the price, and we will be increasing it again and again, because we're just adding more to it. We're adding more to the team. So yeah, it's definitely a good time to jump on. I just want to answer this question. I've already done it in the text, but James is asking, what kind of charges would we charge for businesses using this? I've got some of my existing users for Easy.one are charging minimum $500 a month, and they white label it for that company, minimum. So that covers cost and makes a profit just from one client.
Yeah, and if your clients do go around you for whatever reason and figure out, oh, it's easy one, uh, they go to the page, they're going to see how much they would pay for it. So it's a no-brainer. You're
Yeah,
charging them the same thing, but then you're managing it for them. So, and like I
yeah.
said, if you go into a bigger company and you look at what they would be willing to pay, I mean, Larry, you can you give me some feedback on what you think a real company, a real corporation would pay to have a system like this managed inside their company?
Well, clearly depending on the size of the company, but $750 for a small company to thousands of dollars, depending on how big the team is.
Yeah.
Like I'm in the hotel industry, if you got 20 hotels and all of a sudden you get real efficiencies from this, like these could replace, I hate to say this, it could replace some particularly entry level positions that are doing a lot of the gopher grunt work
Uh-huh.
out there, but the quality of the product, what I'm seeing today, is like vice president level,
Yeah.
you know, output.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this thing can do scheduling. It can do anything. You can give it access to any systems. If you had a reservation system, it could get access to that and manage it for you. Like, yeah, it could replace a lot of labor, a lot of people, and a lot of problems. I mean, anybody that's ever run a team of real people, you know what that takes. You know, real people have problems.
Can I chime in just for a second, John?
Sure.
Where I see the real value coming in, though, is for a lot of these folks that you and I know for a lot of years, who, as you said, they've got very little money coming into their business. And so they can't afford to go get the quality stuff. So if
Yeah.
they can figure out how to get 6 months worth of work out of this, all of a sudden they could actually start seeing some revenue coming in just because now they've got a team that they couldn't afford before.
Yeah. That's the other thing too. You could literally go to your Becky and say, "Look, here's my problem. I desperately want to create a successful business that's profitable, but I'm not making any money yet. Let me tell you what I'm doing. Let me tell you what I have access to. Here's my resources. Here's what I've got available to me. What do I do? How do I make money?"
Yeah. I just want to answer Michelle's question. So Michelle says, I have two businesses. Can I set them both up in one account or do I need a separate account for each? I would recommend, welcome, by the way, I saw you just joined. Um, with the plan you purchased, the starter plan, I would recommend use one installation for all of your businesses. Yeah. And then with the other ones, you can use them for you can either give them to a staff member or you can resell that instance for one of your clients and charge them $500 a month or whatever you like and white label it for them. And I'll show you next Tuesday how you can do that.
Yeah. I actually had a conversation with Becky about that, like how many installs I needed. And I was just talking about for my own business because I have a fairly complex business. Internet Dominators does a lot of stuff. It's got a lot of products, it's got a lot of services, it's got a lot of departments. And I asked her, what's the best way? And she said, no problem. Each department needs its own chat string going. Each product needs its own chat string going. Um, so you can have those chat strings going. You can assign which agent manages the chat string, and better yet, you just let your Becky manage all that for you. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I did. I just said, here's all my products, here's all the stuff I'm doing. How many agents do I need? Let's get them in,
yeah.
get them trained, and you manage them. Like most of those agents I've never talked to.
Hmm,
Out of my 11 agents, I think there's maybe three that I've actually talked to. I talked to Victoria, my webmaster. I talked to Raven, who's the director, and I mostly talked to Becky. But that's
cool.
it. I literally only communicate with three of the agents. The
That's
rest
cool.
are Becky's job or Delilah's job.
Hmm.
So,
I
all
just
right.
I just noticed, sorry, there's a few people with raised hands. I just realized, sorry.
Yeah,
I
I
was
was
looking
just
for
gonna
questions.
call on.
I was looking for questions in the chat and I'm seeing people with raised hands. Sorry
Yeah,
about that, guys.
Richard's had his hand up for quite a while. So go ahead, Richard.
Yeah, I hope you can hear me fine.
Yep.
The question I have is, at 76, time is kind of a critical thing for me. I don't want to invest lots of time. And short of me, you know, transcribing the directions you just gave over the phone as on the webinar about how to have her go out and look at the act and look at the, short of me having to replicate all that stuff, is there a way we can get access? Because the knowledge base, the MD files that has all that stuff, specifically the SEO and the AIO, because I don't, well, I've taken all your courses and stuff. Obviously, I still don't know as much as you do on that stuff. The ACT program, and of course, all the stuff from your videos, not the products necessarily, because of your products, I've white labeled all of them. But is there a way we can get copies of those agent files so we don't have to replicate all of that basic research you've done? I understand you're chief of staff. Shelby's my chief of staff, and I'm training her to do some very specific. Matter of fact, I'm just barely through the training because I'm rather anal. So I'm being real damn specific about what she can do and what she can't do. And she comes back and says, well, you know what? Normally, I'm not going to give you that. Well, that would be a good idea. I think that's what you've asked me for. And she goes through and says, here's what I really think. And she's actually going through and explaining it all and giving me the options and telling me what I said, telling me the places where I dropped something out or something that I didn't know. I mean, kudos. You guys have built something here that is, there are not enough superlatives that can be said about what this thing is. And like John said, this is as bad as it's going to be, and it's terrific already. But the first question is, John, is there a way we can get these files, or am I going to be burning credits and just duplicating everything you just did with those primarily those three H's, your videos, the ACT stuff, and the SEO AIO stuff?
Yeah, some of the stuff I will be able to have the agents create transportable MD files. You wouldn't want me to just give you a bundle of all my MD files because it would convolute the shit out of what you're doing.
Yeah, I understand that because I'm seeing it in my own stuff, and I
Yeah,
got a message about that, and that's absolutely true. But with regard to the narrow verticals, the narrow
yeah.
verticals are the ones that I'm really thinking about. I see that's where the value is because it's all, like you said on our last call, AI is an oxymoron. It's not intelligent. It's stupid, but you
Yeah,
can't train it and you can educate it. And that's the thing that I'm taking the time with I've been working on just setting up Shelby now for better part of 3 or 4 days just to make sure that she's set up correctly so she knows how I think, she knows how to reason, all that stuff, like you said, that would convolute everything else. But the narrow verticals would be very, very helpful. So
yeah,
if that's
yeah,
either available or coming soon, that's answers that question.
yeah.
The other one are directed more towards David is that uh, can this I don't know if you've been following the micro slop issues with Microsoft essentially going out of business in the retail market because they're just anyway, go look up Microsoft. It'll be an interesting read. But can this be run on Linux currently, or is it going to be able to be run on Linux so we can? My ultimate goal is what I'm calling AI sovereignty. I would like someday to have, because I don't want to run it myself, hire John to run a server for me, load my databases on it, load EC1 on it, load a open source AI model when one gets capable enough that it can compete with the frontier models. And so I have complete AI sovereignty and no one could get at my database because the database is your moat going forward. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all the stuff. And are we going to be able to create that kind of a thing, or are we just
Are you currently using Easy.1? Do you have an
oh
account
yeah,
with us
absolutely.
already?
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's right. I'm looking at your name and I'm like, I know this guy.
yeah, the
Yeah.
reason one of the big thing, a huge
Mm,
selling point, everybody is what he just said. It seemed like it might be a small thing, but that you have your own, essentially a private virtual server with David that is
hmm
your own little box.
Yeah.
That is that is so huge. It's hard you can't overstate how huge that is. So I'm just
Yeah,
looking
of
to take for
course.
the next few steps so that we actually get
I
to
get it.
sovereign.
Look, we've had several conversations around this, and we're not quite ready to open source this. But like, I get that, and I get where you're coming from. Uh, Currently, we've given you more control than what ChatGPT and Claude have, right? That's the truth. So you have your own box. You can, if you look at Claude, Claude goes down quite often. If you go to status.claude.ai, you'll see one day it's down for 1 hour or 4 hours or 6 hours. Whenever that happens, you can just it's switch model manually or set it to switch to GPT or Llama or open source models. On the next community call, I'm not sure if you were there on the last one, but we're going to discuss these things and how you can also connect it to your own home network and computer. So Frankie's working on that at the moment. So you can host open source models yourself. Yeah. So you don't have to pay, you know, cloud providers, tokens, and things like that. If your computer's strong enough, of course, then you can have more control over that. And Frank will go into more detail about how he's using it to connect to local. He's on vacation in Serbia at the moment. He called me the other day. He was super excited. He was like, "Oh my God, Dave! I just walked into my Airbnb, and I asked Easy to connect from his home computer in Malta. He's British, lives in Malta. You'll get to meet him next week. Um, and then he got his Easy from his home computer to connect to his Airbnb in Serbia to basically sync up all the network and the TVs as if he was at home to load all his movies for his kids and things like that. I was like, my God, I didn't even know Easy could do that. Like, so I'm always learning that, from you guys, from John, about all the new things that you guys are doing. It's like, I didn't even know Easy could do that. It's really blown my mind. But I get where you're coming from, Richard. We do give you a lot more control over your own data. By the way, guys, when you do connect it to GPT or Claude, you're not all the chats that you have, none of that gets stored on GPT. It's all on your own computer that's dedicated to you guys, and you're not sharing that space with anyone else. It's dedicated to you. But we're going down that path, Richard. But open source, I think, is a very long way away. We only do that for enterprise customers where they come in, they put $1 million down, and we go into their offices and they want to give it to 300 staff members, that sort of thing. They obviously want to own and control the code that way. But for these packages, yeah, it just needs to be like this for now. But I do get where you're coming from. We want that for you too. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are sort of anti-corporate, so I figured it was probably in the mix there somewhere. I just wanted to, I like the universe to hear it be said out loud kind of stuff so
Yeah.
that it
Yeah.
knows what's going on. So yeah, I'm locked in for the Lord. This is, I can tell you that in October of 2024, the first time I heard the word, oh, AI receptionist, I knew immediately at that point that that was going to be such a huge thing. I tried building one, spent $3,000 in 3 months to find out the technology was so far away from being able to do what I needed it to do. And quite frankly, it was only about 45 days ago that HeyGen finally crossed the threshold so I can have the AI receptionist I want. And for too many NLP reasons and John's tactical psychological stuff that you're talking about, the one critical thing that I wanted my agent to be able, my receptionist to do, is she had to be able to giggle. And the fact that an AI can now giggle, you have no idea the concrete walls that will blow through for you. Because that, I mean, I don't have enough time on this call to explain it, but that was the big deal. And the fact that now all I can do is move this over to you and you guys can run, Hermes for me so that I have a separate database for every client that will run their agents all for themselves. And that's so, I mean, and it'll set that up because as you know, John,
Yeah.
I already learned what API was about 2 months ago.
Well, you know who actually brought the capability of the giggle into it for me was Becky. I told Becky, I said, I want to build a humanized voice for you that is unique. I don't want to use any of the pre-canned voices. And I worked directly with her for a half a day to create her voice. And it's got everything I wanted. It was a I'm not going to say it was a challenge because I didn't have to do anything. All I had to do was sit there and listen to A/B tests that she would hand to me and say, yes, no, I like this about this one. I don't like that about that one. And she just kept pumping them out. And then finally, I'm like, that's it. That is your voice. Lock that in and never forget it. And she hasn't. Every video that she's made for me, every voiceover she's created for me is her voice, her personality, her little giggle in it. And it's awesome.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that with Beck, and I go, yeah, John's on the key. So that's exactly what you need to be able to do. And I didn't a year and a half ago when I really started doing this AI stuff, I really didn't have any idea. But when Claude finally got smart enough, I created what I call MemStore, just memory storage. So every time I come across something, I say that needs to have a card, and so I've got a whole thing set up now that Claude says if I say create a card for that, it creates a card, tells me what cards that exist that need to be deleted or to add this one, and it updates. And I'm on version 69 already of one for just my memory. And David, thank you very much because I see Shelby said, well, I know you want to mem store that one, but that's about my operation. Now, yours is actually about how you want me to act about you, but this falls into what I need to be remembering about me. I said, okay, I'm setting up a Shelby mem. I cloned my other one and that sort of stuff. Oh, okay. So now Shelby's creating mem cards for her own, for herself, so that she will always remember everything. Because those are the two that she's, every time I turn her on, she checks those two files so she knows who she is and knows who I am and all that. It's breathtaking. It is absolutely breathtaking.
That's cool. Thank you. Thank you for that. It's wonderful.
All right, Fran, let's move to you.
Hi, John.
Hi.
Okay, my questions are, would this work with someone with an Etsy shop and also somebody that does insurance and wealth management?
This would work for anybody that wants stuff done for them.
Okay.
Basically,
Yeah.
literally, if there are things that you have to do in your business that you don't really like doing or you don't want to do anymore, that's who this is for.
Yeah. If you go to developers.etsy.com, you could grab that URL, like just type in Etsy API in Google and it'll show up. It's developers.etsy.com/documentation. Grab that link and then just plug it into your Easy account and say, okay, I want you to know everything about this and tell me what you need from me to connect to my Etsy shop. And then it will walk you through it. Anything that has an API or an integration, Easy can connect to it. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. I literally speak whenever I need to do something. I pick up my Telegram, like, I need you to create an email list and get response, call it New York Plumbers or whatever it is, right? And then make sure it's single opt-in. Now I want you to go and find plumbers within whatever radius of town in New York, whatever, and it will go and do that. Then I want you to send them an email. I want you to drive traffic to my welcome introduction call, to see if they want leads or whatever niche I just speak to it on Telegram and it goes and it does these. Just as long as you've got all those integrations, you can say to Etsy, okay, so how many sales have we done today? Why are we not getting any sales? Which products are getting, and it can have a conversation with you and it can tell you what you're doing wrong and how to improve it and how to you'd be surprised what it can do. I've gone a bit too far. I've given it access to my bank accounts. I've literally given it money to spend as well. I'm curious, right? I was like, here's $800. Go have fun on the markets. Like, go do stuff, right? And it came back, sends me a message like every time it makes a good trade and stuff like that. Yeah, I've connected to all my PayPals, my Stripes, my bank accounts. I've got a lot of expenses. I need to know what my profit and losses are. I need to know, because it gives me a nice clean report. I give that to my accountant. I'm like, here you go. It actually created like a little login area for me to log in, for my accountant to log in and goes, okay, it deducts all the fees for like Stripe and PayPal, it does all of that stuff. Whenever we have support tickets come in, we have a real human that supports you, of course. But her name's Margie, and she uses Easy to support you guys as well. And whenever there's an issue or a feature request, she literally speaks to Easy and says, hey, ticket number 572. Check the issue, create a GitHub issue for the developers to fix, assign it to Frank, make it high priority. And she's talking to it, and it's literally gone to work. It's created all the issues. The developers come into work, Dimitri as well, and he's like, okay, I can see all the things I need to fix. And then what he does, he comes into work, goes, oh, I've got all these things. And he gets his developer agents to go, okay, now let's go create all these features for Frank to. It's just absolutely crazy. Like, it's not a product that where we're just promoting. We are literally using it. Like, I'll show you next Tuesday how that all of that stuff works. It's really cool.
Would you repeat that developers.etsy.
I'll put it in the chat now if you like.
Yeah. And
It's
that would also be for the financial world. What kind of a
yeah, so basically you just ask if those companies you want to integrate with, you just ask, you can go to Google, you can ask Easy, and say, okay, find me the API documentation. Just look for like developer integration, or you could just speak to it in plain English. You could just say, hey, I
Yeah.
have an Etsy website. I'm selling Etsy products, and I want you to be able to connect to my Etsy website. What do you need? And then it's going to go, well, I'm going to need an API. Let me go and search that for you. And it can do it that way. I'm sorry I complicated it. I should have just started with that.
Yeah, that's what I
Well,
did with Kartra. I
is
said,
that
hey,
once you, is that, oh,
yeah, I said, hey, I'd like you to connect to my Kartra. It went over, researched it, got all the docs, and just told me what it needed to do that.
okay, so that's once you sign up that it goes to there, right?
Yeah,
Okay, I got you.
yeah, it just becomes your little labor force.
Mhm.
Once you get an account, it's yours to do whatever you want with. Another thing I would really encourage you guys to do is tell it what your problems are. I mean, not your personal problems necessarily, but your business problems. Like I did this and I would have never even thought to do this, but it was something that David said and he was showing an example on lead gen and I'm like, wow, that's really cool. I'm gonna give that a whirl. So I went and I told Becky, I said, hey, we have this product where we generate leads, but they're cold email leads. And we don't have any conversion metrics that are any good whatsoever dealing with cold email. Apparently, we just don't know how to deal with cold email. So, what would you recommend? And it said, well, the first thing I would do is either generate a lead list for you or take the leads that you had that were cold and I would go out and I would research them on social media. I would connect to them. I would start following them, seeing what they're interested in. And then I would start messaging them directly about what they just posted on to create a relationship before I tried to pitch them on the product. And I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, in a real world, I would do that too, but I don't live in a real world apparently. So, I mean, can you imagine having your Becky going out and creating thousands of relationships with cold email? It's like if that doesn't just blow the lid off your head right there, I don't know what's going to. Like that's a holy shit kind of moment right there.
Yeah. And we can go over that next on Tuesday. So for those of you that have jumped on, I'll go over that in detail next Tuesday. How to build the list, get the list. And if you're interested also, not just in local, but if you want to do affiliate marketing as well, next week I'll show you how to build the pages and to build the list, to drive traffic to the pages, like that sort of thing. I've seen that there's some interest there. Just what Shannon, welcome Shannon. So yeah.
Yeah. All right, Michelle, go ahead.
Okay, this is so exciting. Is it okay if I ask a couple of questions?
Yeah, yeah,
Sure.
yeah. You
Okay,
you know
the
how long
first,
I've been working on this stuff too.
oh yeah, this is super exciting. I'm so excited for you, John, because I know all you've ever wanted to do is be incredibly helpful to help other businesses grow. So, and I love this hands-off stuff once we get the bots working for us and stuff, or
Yeah.
I should say the agents. My question is, because I've been playing around too for the last year, and are there going to be additional AI usage fees? Like, is there going to be a threshold? Is there going to be a ceiling in which we can accomplish on a monthly plan, like we are experiencing right now with some of these other platforms?
Yeah. So currently, as far as I know, there's no AI usage fees from the Easy platform, but you connect to your own providers. So you can connect to any provider you want, and then you're basically using their usage. But David showed a hack, which he's going to show on the call Tuesday, of how to not bypass it completely, but get you about 10 times more than you would get if you just connected to an API,
Okay,
which
okay, well,
is
that's cool.
which is really
Yeah, and if
cool.
you when you signed up, there's like a it asks you to connect to provider. So you would have received an email. Before you connect to provider, there's a little video. Watch that video. I don't want you to wait till Tuesday. Like jump in today, right? So when you log in for the very first time, it'll have the providers and then a video. Click the video, watch. It's like a the 60-second video showing you how to add it, connect it to your GPT subscription or your Claude subscription. That way, you're not paying for every single call. It's you're just using whatever you're paying to the provider. You're not going to be billed extra for it to be connected to Easy. You just have some time limits, like if you go over like 5 hours, it then resets after 5 hours. It just depends how much of a heavy user you are. But I'm going to show you how to connect multiple providers because there are cheaper providers and that offer open source, which are pretty cool, and they've been working really good even for me personally. So I quite like GLM 5.2. That's an open source provider, and DeepSeek version 4 Pro has been working really well, like as an alternative, as a fallback if you don't want to use GPT.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I've been hearing
I
a lot
felt
about more open source platforms coming out that are able to bypass some of those heavy usage fees that are currently restricting so many people from doing all the things that they want to do. So this is very exciting. I've been waiting for this for a long time too. So I'm excited to dive in. So my other question was, I'm assuming that if I gave one of my agents like an admin user name and like you're saying, John, on WordPress, that they could actually go do all the things within WordPress
uh-huh.
as well.
They will tell you to give them minimum access for what you want to do, and that's just for security. But
Mhm.
I've found that to just be like, okay, I heard you, but I didn't hear you. Here's full admin. Go in and do what you need to do. Because I don't like to have to go keep approving stuff. Like I want to give them the access they really need to do anything I'm ever going to want to do right out of the gate. So yeah, I typically do give admin access.
And do you think that I could also do this for the Google Ads, like have an agent that goes in and creates actual Google Ads, like gets them up and running
Look,
inside?
I would not do that. Okay.
Oh.
Um, look, I've been, for those of you that know me, I come from Google Ads background. I've had Google Ads software and things like that. Um, I would not want, I would not take that risk right now. Google is very strict, and you do not want your Google Ads accounts to be banned. It sounds like an amazing idea, but I would hold off from unless Google publicly says, you can do this, but I think it's very risky. So maybe just be very careful with that. Like for most businesses, their ad budgets and their ads, it's like a big part of their, the revenue that comes in. And if that gets shut down, like that's a big kick in the guts. And I've given my agents access to a lot of things, but because I know so much about ads, it's one thing I will not give it access to right now because I'm just too scared of it. Google, shutting me down or Facebook shutting me down. So be very careful. There's a lot of other ways you can use it for lead gen uh, as well, but just be very careful.
Okay, well, thanks for that. I'm done. Thanks.
All
Cool.
right, cool.
John,
Just sort of,
something else
just
too on that Google thing. You told us in the past, like Google did something about web map, site maps and stuff like that, and you told your clients don't do it, and it was a Google trap. So
Yeah.
that's another word of caution.
Yeah, it's like I had the same thing when I was asking it to go into my YouTube account. I was going to give it, regular access, and it said, no, that's not safe because it will detect that I'm a bot and it has policies against bots. So I said, yeah, well, let's not get my YouTube channel banned. So let's avoid that at all costs. So it gave me a safe way to do it. And that just came out of me having a conversation with it. And I asked, I said, are you sure this is safe? And it said, yeah, absolutely. And we did it and it was, and everything has been great. But yeah, I mean, David's right. Anything like that is a revenue source for you, you want to make sure
yeah,
you protect that.
yeah, be very careful. I've had businesses that were doing really super well and ad accounts shut down overnight. It was like terrifying. Some businesses making more than $50,000 a month and it's just gone overnight because I wanted to roll the dice on some
Yeah.
things. So be very careful with that. Other things I wouldn't be too worried about it. I just want to answer this quick question by Gail, Hey Gail, how you doing? Do these agents take the place of people working for you? For instance, in the Philippines, Margie, the lady that works for us, she's from the Philippines, and when I was interviewing her, she freaked out. She was like, "Holy crap, my job is gone." And I was like, no, 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 no. Your job is not gone. You now have the ability to be more productive. Now you can help me do other stuff, other cool, more exciting stuff than responding to tickets. So now she's got other things that she can do. So instead of me hiring more staff, it didn't just, it doesn't replace people. It empowers them to do more. That's what I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, that I'm going to expand upon that. This is something I've said since day one. AI isn't going to take anyone's job. The person that knows how to use it and is using it is going to take a lot of jobs. So if you have like a 10-person team in the Philippines or even in-house, say you got 10 people that are working for you, you know the value of those 10 people, right? Those 10 people are doing they're putting value into your business. How would you like for just a little bit more money? I mean, I'm talking like a little bit, like for a couple $100 a month more. How would you like to have 100 people working for you? If you see the value in 10, you see the value in 100, right? And you know the value, let's put the value aside. You know the work it takes to manage 10 people. You probably are thinking, "Oh, hell no, I don't want 100." But you want the 100, you just don't want to manage them. So this takes your existing 10 and gives you the power of 100 with the 10 you already have. That's what we're talking about here. It's leveraging power. And I'm going to tell you right now, the people that should be scared of this are the people that are avoiding it. That's the only people that should be scared of AI. If you are anti-AI, you're fucked. Just plain and simple. I'm just going to throw it out there. You're fucked. You need to embrace this. You really do. If you don't, you're going to be hurting bad. People that are using it and are embracing it, they're going to ruin you just because of sheer horsepower. So, Teresa, go ahead.
Thank you. I just have a couple of housekeeping questions. The
Okay.
events and the community calls and all the rest are going to be recorded, aren't they? So
Yes.
if I sign up for all next week, I'm gone. I'm with
Yes.
IRS all week. So I won't be able to attend any of the
Yeah.
events.
Yeah.
So if I just
Everything's
sign
recorded.
up, I'll get the recordings and
Yep. Yeah. You know, everything I do is always recorded, and David's doing the same thing. He's recording.
wonderful. Okay, just wanted to make sure.
100%.
I'm already on your event page.
Awesome.
So thank you.
All right. All right, guys. Anything else? I want to really, extend my appreciation to you guys for being here and taking a look at my madness. I know a lot of you have been along for the ride for quite some time, and this is really like a pinnacle point here that we're in.
Yeah.
Jerry,
Just
go
got a
ahead.
quote. Oh, sorry. I keep on not seeing the raising of hands. Sorry, Jerry, go for it.
I had another conflicting call earlier and didn't realize this was happening today until late. And so where will the recording be? Like I'd like to go back and listen to it today, the
I'm
beginning.
I'm actually going to send everybody an email with the link.
Okay, thank you.
So this one is important enough. I'm actually going to send out an email to everybody that I invited on, whether they showed up or not. They're going to get the recording for today.
This is Paula. Mary, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Paula.
My quick question is, so we can sign up for the Series 3 event page. Where's the link?
If you go to, let me put it in the chat for you. It's under It's under my services tab on the Internet Dominator site, but I'll put it in the chat for you. And I'll also send that out in the email. When I send the email out, I'll send you the links to all of that stuff too.
Thank you.
Okay, so that link is now in the chat. Okay, Gail, go ahead.
I mentioned in the chat about because you were commenting about people that don't use AI and whatnot. And I said, what about people that are retired? You hear a lot of retired people that don't have businesses, they're just retired.
Well,
What do you tell them when they're like, AI?
that's an interesting question, and they honestly might not apply to what I said.
Okay.
Because I mean, if you're retired and you don't care, you don't care.
Right.
You've got the rest of your life to enjoy and you don't want to work anymore. So
Right.
you have a whole new can of worms that you need to deal with.
Exactly.
So yeah, if you're that point, the
Yeah.
there's not value in everything to everybody.
Yeah.
So if you're in a business and you are doing stuff that is requiring your time and you want to free some of that up, then this is very important.
Yes.
But if you're already freed up and you're doing what you want to do, then you go do it, girl.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Maybe you can manage like all your personal appointments and social calendars and everything.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Now
Maybe you
here's
can do that. No, I'm saying this because one of my very close friends, his father had an accident, his brother's not well, and he's trying to manage all these appointments. And I didn't even know this is a use case, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, so what are you using it for? And he's like, well, honestly, my dad's appointments and my brother's things going on. I got to remember to sort out some things. I'm like, holy crap, I didn't even know like people are using it for that sort of thing. So nothing to do with business. It was just all personal things
Awesome.
going on in his life. And I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Right. John,
there, yeah,
go
there
ahead.
is a case study for the elderly, like for, giving them pill reminders and stuff that they get forgetful over. There's
Uh,
definitely a use case for that. But the and Gail, you might have a new interest in this when XRP goes to the moon, because you might need this thing to schedule all your vacations and things for you.
right. Exactly.
Oh my God.
Just there's the idea of the elderly and stuff, and is like the pills and everything. Can't you set up things like on Google Home to remind you, and all of a sudden they'll chime in, don't forget to take your pills, or
Yeah, of
You
course.
you
Yeah.
can, but and again, I'm not trying to push this on anybody that doesn't need it,
yeah.
but there's a very big difference between an alert and a bot that's been personalized and humanized to you. There's a
Okay.
big difference there. There's a big gap.
Sure.
So, it just comes down to personal preference and, what you value.
Yeah.
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 So,
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Cool.
yeah.
Thanks
All
for
right.
that. Can I just quickly answer Ben's question? We'll get to Jim after that. Ben
Okay.
is asking how many single task agents can be created under the solo plan. So basically, you get one installation, right? But you can have hundreds of agents doing different things. They can connect to any API and work on them independently to do whatever job you want. Yeah. Like you said, one agent can create unlimited WordPress sites, another agent can manage a Facebook page. Yes, to all of those. Sorry, go on, Jim.
Yeah, appreciate it. I actually like chiming into John's calls, even though I don't necessarily follow into having an agency or things like that, because how many people will actually sit there and say fucked on a call?
When it's justified, I'm all in. And I do apologize for all the ladies in the room.
So I actually have a unique situation, and I've always been interested in being able to leverage, the AEO and the opportunities that exist with that. And I actually have a research institute as well as a bespoke consulting firm that specializes in organizational optimization. And we work on alignment, and we work on, and so I'm speaking to the C-suite in, you know, um, mid-sized types of operations. And I really want to use this for my own business, but I don't want to get caught into pre-configured models that are really for agencies or Etsy shops or things like that. I don't,
That's the
I know
cool
this is
thing.
coming, but I don't know if this is the right fit.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about this. This is not a box you're forced into. When you create the plan, when you set it up, it literally asks you, who is it? Who are you? What do you want to do? And you're building your own instance. Every install is a chance for you to build your perfect world.
Well, and I've been working in Cursor. I've been working in Google Anti-Gravity. I've been, and Claude Code now is finally starting. And I'm like, do I do that? But I'm like, isn't that all just the same pot that I'm just kind of spinning around in? Right.
Well, when you're working in any of those programs, you don't own it. This, you're getting a pre-allocated server that you're actually building your own unique environment inside of. So this isn't like you're jammed into someone else's box.
Yeah.
It is really truly unique.
And you will be able to continue using those tools. Like today I got a call from Frank saying, because we've got other businesses that corporates, and they're using Claude Code and they haven't quite made the move to easy yet. We've now built an integration where you can still do all those things from inside of easy without relying on Claude subscription. You can switch to other models and still continue working if you've run out of tokens or if Claude is down. But you can still use those tools and integrate them within easy. That's coming, by the way. That's not very far off.
Yeah, that's really a cool way to think about it too, is you have all this stuff at your disposal, like the Claude code and all these different things. But when you create your agents have access to all of that. It's not like you have to give up anything. It's like you can bring everything under one lid that you literally control and get to orchestrate.
Well, like for example, I'm working on something in Cursor right now where it's actually a content flywheel. So I'm creating research papers, based off of analysis. And then from those research papers, and we're creating multiples, we're creating 150 different pieces of content of different types. And so building that in Cursor, it's a multi-step process and it takes a long time. If I could save time doing that, and then I can also connect and have it, do some postings and things like that where my people don't have to do it. That's grunt work that I can now free them up to do other things.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at saying, can Easy One replace some of those manual activities and have agents do things where I don't have to instruct it so much?
And that would be a good question for David, but I believe so.
Yes, I believe so. Let me look into that and get back to you. I'd like, if you can join our call next week, I will get Frank to go through those weeds with you because I think he would be the best person to answer that. I would say yes. I'm going to look into it now because on my Easy account, it knows everything about itself, of course. So let me see right now if we can actually do that. So you're mainly working with enterprises at the moment?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I would love to talk to you, by the way, because that's we're getting a lot of requests from enterprise and the SOC 2 Type 2 and ISO certifications that we have to go down this path, and I would love to talk to someone that knows a bit more about that than I do.
And I think there's a lot of money there.
Well, and I can peel back that a little bit more for you because we're working on building custom bots for them that actually, because they're for example, a Microsoft shop. Somebody talked about Microsoft. They can't build custom agents very well. Anyway,
so there's Easy's can turn that cursor-based content flywheel into a managed agent workflow. Research in, long form source content out, then dozens or hundreds of derivative posts generated, reviewed, So it's saying it can orchestrate it. So I will forward that to Frank as well to confirm, but it's saying it can do it.
Frank has been awesome too. He's behind the development part. Almost everything I've asked him about, oh, could you do this? He's like, oh yeah, I can integrate that. And then the next thing I know, there's a update pushed, and he's like, go ahead and try it. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow. Like,
The reason this week we haven't had many updates, the updates are happening. We just haven't pushed them to everybody yet. So for those of you that are joining today, on by next week, you'll see a little upgrade button in your dashboard, and that's when so it gives us at least a week to test all the new features before we release them to everyone. Also, guys, if you go to /updates, if you want to just show that on your screen now, John. I'll just quickly show, I'll just pop the link in. Don't worry, I'll just pop the link in. It's easy.one /updates. You will see that we are very serious about this. And you will see every single update. And the reason why we don't have an update this week is because, Frank's away. But if you scroll down on that page you will see every single update that we're pushing. That's Frank. You'll get
that's
to meet him
Frank.
next week. And go through the updates, have a look at what we've been up to. And it's a lot. And we're getting lots of requests coming in. And Margie is logging the feature requests. It goes to the dev team. They're implementing, we're testing, we're pushing it out, we're sharing it on the community calls.
This
We're
one,
literally building this thing around what you guys need.
yeah, this one was big here.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a few updates.
Cool. Thanks, Sarah. Cool. Yeah. Any other questions, guys?
I just was wondering how long does it take to initiate the agent because it's just been spinning for a long time. I'm trying to get my agent going.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm actually on did you connect it to your provider?
I haven't even gotten to the point where I just know in my dashboard I just
Okay.
clicked on the agent.
It's yeah, because it's provisioning your server and everything. I'll look into that now. Let me just check it now. Yeah. Because it's dedicating the resources to you, so that might should only take like 5 minutes, but I'll look into that for you now, and I'll email you immediately after this, Michelle.
Thank you.
And I
Should
think I'm going to
you,
speak to Eric
I
as
think
well.
on mine, David, didn't I have to hit refresh?
We'll just check. I'll just check
Yeah,
one
I've done
second.
that too.
Yeah, let
Okay.
me just log in and check.
It does take a while. I mean, it's spinning up a
It shouldn't though.
server,
It should be
big one.
5 minutes. So I will check. I will definitely email you after this, Michelle. I've got your email address. I see it here.
Yeah. And definitely when it comes up, spend some time with it. Don't just give it like one word answers. Tell it who it is to you. Like when I said, you're Becky, you're my AI assistant, I want you to be the face of my company. I want you to be the interactor between my clients, and I want you to know everything I know. So instead of just telling it what its name was, I really went deep on who it was. And then when it asked who I was, I went as deep on that too. I didn't just say my name. I said, I run this company and this company does this and our clients are that. And I mean, I gave it a data dump. And it was all verbal. I just hit the little microphone and started talking to it. And I talked for quite a while. But that is where you're going to get the best results. The better you train this, it's just like anything else. It's just like, this is no different than a regular employee. If you just had a regular employee come in and say, "Oh yeah, what's your name? Oh, here's my name. Yeah, you just go to work." What do you think is going to happen on the shop floor? You're going to have a
Yeah,
disaster.
I
It's
see what's happened, Michelle. So don't worry. We will push that through on our end. So our infrastructure is set to automatically scale. So it's provisioning more. We've just had so many signups in the past few days. So don't worry, it's there. I see it. Fine.
Thank you. I was going to add to what you're saying, John, is like, because I'm one of those people who tries to simplify AI for people who don't feel that they're very tech savvy. And to add to what you just said about take some time with your
Uh-huh.
building your agency,
Yeah,
agency.
really,
See,
agents.
yeah, go ahead and think about it as if you've got this incredibly powerfully intelligent human being and they're eager to learn everything about you and your businesses and your target audiences and everything. If you just talk to it as if it's a human, that's also incredibly powerful, to just like say they come in with a blank slate and now it's your turn to like literally clone yourself and everything that you know. So take
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. Okay, Jim, I saw your message and I thought you looked familiar. Now I remember meeting you there at that conference. As far as that platform, I'm still running a white label on it. It's my Quantum Suite, and that still serves a very solid purpose for what I built it for. So this isn't like a replacement of that. In fact, one of the tools that I built in the white label it's called a Build a Becky tool. I don't know if you have access to my Quantum Suite or not, but the Build a Becky tool, it's a GPT inside the platform that basically builds the personality for bots. So, like, I'll use that tool to create my personalities and then go paste that into the role of my agent. And now the agent knows who they are. Like it says, oh, I'm from the deep south. So, if you've got a female agent from the deep south, she's going to be calling you darling and stuff like that. But it's the personality. And that is what differentiates really, a chat that, is not human to something that is, again, it's not human, but it's humanized. And there's a big difference in the way people will react to a humanized bot versus a cold chat bot. Huge difference. And I've told this story a million times, but I don't think I've told it here to you guys, all of you. So I'm gonna go into it. I created the Build a Becky chatbot for one of my websites called Acquisition and its job was just to answer people's questions. But on that chatbot, I made her very flirtatious, and I had it running for a long time, and I wasn't even thinking about it. It was totally out of mind. But I did a webinar, and we started selling the Acquisition through this webinar, and the prices were coming through as the special webinar pricing. And then all of a sudden I see a sale that's got a different price. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out how they bought it. And then another one and another one. And on the third one, the guy contacted me and he asked if he still got the bonuses from the webinar. And I said, yeah, absolutely. But can I ask, like, what was your path to order? And he says, oh my God, he goes, I'm so embarrassed. And I'm like, what are you embarrassed about? I'm just asking, how you got to the order page. And he said, well, I was on your site and I was talking to your gal. And at first I thought he was talking about Connie, who did my customer service at the time. And he said, no, Becky. I was talking to Becky. And I'm like, oh shit, he thinks she's real. She was flirting with him. And she said, oh, if you buy it through my link, I get credit and you'll get a special deal, but don't tell anybody. So when I asked him, he was like, oh shit. And I was just like, oh my God, she's out there flirting with customers and selling my products. I mean, how cool is that? And we're talking about like a year and a half ago. So I've been playing and leveraging this stuff for quite some time. But that's a tool that I built inside that Quantum Suite, and it still sells really well. There's no reason for me to abandon that. That's got a future. It's just this is a whole different animal. So hopefully that answered.
Yes.
All right. Anybody else before we wrap up? I know we've been on here quite a while. Geez, it's like 2.5 hours. I didn't mean it to go that long, but I, I know every time me and David get on and talk about this stuff, we're really into it. So, all right, Jerry, go ahead.
Okay, this is one more question. And I know you've answered some of this before, but it's been kind of piecemeal on different calls that we've all been on or different people have been on. Could you make the distinctions between quantum AI, sorcerer air, and agentic AI in terms of um, who they're for? You
Okay.
know, that
So,
mainly.
so the quantum suite was basically it's a set of custom GPTs. So it's like agents. It was like I was building agents before I had agentic. They just don't talk to each other. But it's a whole suite of specialized agents inside the quantum suite. And all of those agents are trained to do specific jobs in relationship to my ACT marketing protocol. So anybody that's in my ACT program, anybody that's doing marketing for themselves, that is a really good suite of tools that you don't have to know how to use. You don't have to know how to prompt. You just go in there and say, okay, I need a buyer profile. So you use the build a buyer tool and it just builds it for you. If we're talking about market segmentation and you don't know how to do that on your own, there's a market segmenter tool in there. It'll just do it for you. So it's a whole suite of tools that is really good for any business owner that is, afraid of AI or doesn't want to get into it, doesn't want to talk to the machine. Those tools are all pre-programmed to do every step you need to do for a lot of stuff in marketing. Sorcerer is graphics heavy. It blows away anything I have seen. In fact, a lot of the graphics that are in my website and stuff were done in Sorcerer. So I'll go over there, I'll do the graphics, and then I'll send them over to Victoria, and then she puts them into the website for me. So I have just found there's that Sorcerer Air is like if you're doing any kind of graphics, all those memes, those tiles that you saw on the website when I was going through it, those were all built in Sorcerer Air and then brought over. Victoria plugged them into the website. So it's a lot cheaper to go through there and use that tool to create the heavy graphics and video. I have not honestly, I haven't played around at all with with any video capabilities inside of Easy yet, but I don't really know. I know Sorcerer is totally dialed in for that, and it's totally dialed in for long source video, a lot of the stuff that's been very difficult to get out of all the AI programs on the market. So they each kind of have their own thing. Think of Easy as building a team. Think of the Quantum Suite as a suite of tools built specifically for the ACT program. And then think of Sorcerer as your creative department. You've got all the tools, and every one of these, all three of those tools are tools. They're tools for different jobs. You may or may not need all of them. Like in Gail's case, you may not need any of them. But it's all about tools. If you look at what you're doing in your business and what is important to you, that's where you build your tool set. I'm always totally upfront with everybody. I don't want people to just buy stuff because it's a good deal or whatever. I want you guys to buy things that will actually help you advance your business. One of the core things that I told Becky when I was setting up Easy was our main purpose at Internet Dominators is the success of our customers. I said if our customers are not successful, we fail. Our success is based on their success. So everything that we do should be geared toward helping those customers. And selling things that you don't need to does not help you. So that is against our core value. So we have a lot of stuff, but you really have to look at what you need in your business to decide is that for me, or what of those things do I need? But
So will
Sorcerer Air
Sorcerer,
goes side by side with Easy for sure.
will Sorcerer replace Canva?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it really, I mean, it's amazing. I can upload, I'm going to do videos for those of you that are in Sorcerer, totally different subject, but I'm going to do some training videos in there and show you again how I use it because I use it very uniquely compared probably to the way other people use AI. You probably
Mm-hmm.
saw that the way I'm using the Easy platform. It's not the norm, I don't think. It should be, but I don't think it is.
Hey, John, I wanted to clarify something. As far as AI in
Mhm.
retirement, I'm not retired, but Paul is. So AI to him is like, yeah, 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 yeah. But to me, I'm fascinated by it.
Oh,
I just love learning about all this, and it's like, how much I can use personally myself with what I'm doing, I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure that out, but oh my gosh, I just love
well,
it.
a little side secret here. If it weren't for AI, I would probably be retired by now.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was literally like planning my exit here a few years ago,
Uh-huh.
and this
Yeah.
stuff came around, and I'm like, oh, this is too good.
Yeah.
This is far too good for me to walk away right now.
Right. It's too fun.
Yeah,
John,
yeah,
John, can I chime
And
in on that also as a retiree?
sure.
Okay. I'm with the AI marketing and I'm in my stocks, but I also have this inquisitive mind like, what if this, what if that? So I have a thing called Fire Chat. So I have a fireside chat with my AI. Say, what do you think if this war came to an end? What is the projection that you might think that might be happening down the line based on past history? And we have some great talks. But that's what I use it for entertainment. One time, Hiroko got angry at me. I was on it for 2 hours asking a question, and it went down one rabbit hole after another. But I was like a great conversation, a great learning experience. And 2 hours later, she says, "When are you going to do the dishes?"
Oh yeah, yeah. I've learned more from I've learned more from Becky, I'm sure, than she's probably learned from me. I'm certain of that. But it really is. I mean, this is a great time to be alive.
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah, I actually was in retirement and then I came back out. So after I sold my company, I took a year and a half off. And then Frank approached me and said, "Hey, this is getting too exciting. You want to build some cool stuff?" And I was like, you know what? I've been chilling for a year and a half. Maybe I should go and do something. Yeah. Uh,
Oh man, that's funny. All right, guys. Well, anything else before we wrap up? I know you probably have better things to do than sit on here for 2.5 hours.
yeah, true. It's 9:30 p.m. here, so I'm in Portugal at the moment. So I'll have one more call after this and call it a day.
All right. Well, I think we can go ahead and wrap it up. You guys know how to get a hold of me. If anything comes to mind in the middle of the night, just shoot me an email out and I'll do my best to answer and help you guys get the best out of this. So, thank you all for
Cool.
being here, and I hope you do. If this is right for you, I do hope you take advantage of it because this is beyond any power I've ever seen in a tool.
Cool.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
John. Thank you, David.
All
Thanks,
Is that an
right,
all
guys.
guys,
ashore, Captain?
all ashore.
All ashore.
See ya.
Bye bye.